New possible signs of life on Venus. One of the most brilliant and beautiful objects in the night sky, Venus, is a near twin of Earth in size and mass, but is radically different in almost every other way. Could it also possibly hold life in its clouds? Let's find out in our video today. New possible signs of life on Venus. Welcome to Trending's Finest, where we give you the hottest updates on the world's most viral news, videos, and stories in the most exciting format. Click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to not miss a single beat of the world's pulse. After the moon, Venus is the brightest object in the night sky, gleaming like a tiny diamond in the darkness. But make no mistake, to go to Venus is to go to hell. Its surface temperature averages 470 degrees Celsius or 880 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. Its atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide with a ground level pressure 90 times greater than that on Earth, the equivalent of being under 914 meters or 3,000 feet of water. In fact, spacecraft that descend through the Venusian atmosphere can make much of the trip without a parachute, descending like a marble in a can of house paint. So how exactly could life be possible in hell? Well, try living with my ex. Just kidding. In today's video, we give you the details of the astounding discovery of possible signs of life on our planetary neighbor, including what this could mean for greater extraterrestrial life. Stay tuned. The discovery of a Venusian lifetime. That astonishing possibility arose out of observations made by the James Clerk Maxwell Telescope in Hawaii and the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array Telescope in Chile's Atacama Desert, and published in Nature Astronomy. The study's authors, led by Cardiff University astronomer and Professor Jane Greaves, did not find life itself. What they found instead were significant quantities of the toxic gas phosphine, which is known as a byproduct of microorganisms that thrive in anaerobic environments or those lacking free oxygen. In theory, the gas could be produced by volcanoes or the interaction of lightning with the atmosphere. But the concentrations in which the researchers found the stuff on Venus seemed far too high for those periodic, non-biological processes to be responsible. Instead, something must be steadily producing and regularly replenishing the gas, and that something looks to investigators like it could very well be biology. Cue X-Files music. Explanation behind it. At first glance, phosphine might seem like a funny molecule to associate with life, given that it's a highly flammable, extremely toxic, outrageously foul-smelling molecule as described by MIT's Clara Sousa Silva. It's an extremely dangerous molecule that kills in a variety of imaginative ways, all of which are very final and macabre. It's used widely as a fumigant, and it was used as a chemical warfare agent in the First World War. As for its odor, well, apparently it smells basically like death. It just smells horrific. There was once a report of someone saying it smelled like the rancid diapers of the spawn of Satan. Hey, that's straight from the mouth of an MIT scientist, so no argument there. If they say that's how it smells, then that's how it smells. What's curious about it, though, is that until now, phosphine has only been detected on 3 other worlds in the solar system. On Earth, it's found in swamps and marshlands and in the intestines of some animals. On Jupiter and Saturn, the gas is forged within the planet's violent storms under extreme conditions that aren't known to exist anywhere else. Phosphine molecules found on Earth are primarily a result of human industry or the actions of microbes that thrive in oxygen-free environments. Sarah Seeger, an MIT planetary scientist and co-author of the paper, explained that to reach this conclusion, they first exhaustively went through every possibility and ruled them all out. Volcanoes, lightning strikes, small meteorites falling into the atmosphere. Not a single process they looked at could produce phosphine in high enough quantities to explain the findings. Before everyone starts shouting to the Venusian heavens, we need to emphasize that the discovery of phosphine molecules in Venus's atmosphere does not mean that scientists have found proof of alien life. Explaining further, Seeger went on to clarify that they are not claiming that they found life on Venus, at least not yet. They are instead claiming the confident detection of phosphine gas, whose existence is a mystery. Phosphine can be produced by some non-biological processes on Venus, but only in such incredibly tiny amounts. It's not enough to explain our observation. So we're left with this other exciting, enticing possibility, that perhaps there's some kind of life in the Venus clouds. Either way, Venus, a world with a reputation for being hot and hellish, just became one of the most intriguing and closest spots in the universe for investigating the question of whether life exists beyond Earth. This is by no means the first time investigators have contemplated the possibility of life in such an inhospitable place as Venus. Early in the planet's history, Venus, like Mars, was likely a watery world similar, at least in that way, to Earth. Due to its lack of a magnetic field, Mars' atmosphere was stripped away by the sun at some point, causing the water to sputter away into space. In the case of Venus, the planet's lack of global plate tectonics prevented carbon dioxide from being plowed back into the ground, leading to a runaway greenhouse effect, exacerbated by the planet's closer proximity to the sun than Earth's, causing the oceans to boil away. The water vapor in the air only made the greenhouse heating worse. In the planet's upper atmosphere, however, temperatures are much more hospitable. Despite the acidic nature of the clouds, scientists have speculated it may be possible for alien microbes to exist. Venus had hundreds of millions of temperate years before it lost its water, in which microbial life could have formed on the ground and then migrated up through the atmosphere to higher elevations, 50 or so kilometers, 31 miles, where the pressure is closer to that of the Earth at sea level, and the temperature is a balmy shirt sleeves 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. There, bacteria could survive and thrive. If this discovery is confirmed, we would know for the first time in human history that the solar system has two planets where life exists. In a cosmic sense, we wouldn't be alone anymore. Keep watching to understand the full extraterrestrial implications of this exciting discovery and the next steps, or maybe giant leaps for humankind. Is there life beyond Earth? One of the implications this suggests is that the solar system, and perhaps the universe by implication, could well be teeming with life. If a blast furnace world like Venus could harbor atmospheric organisms, and a frigid desert like Mars could harbor them in aquifers underground, what does it say about rich water worlds like the Jovian moons Europa and Ganymede, the Saturnian moon Enceladus, and the dwarf planet Pluto, which are believed to harbor salty, liquid oceans beneath their surface, where life would have had billions of years to evolve? What does it say about the larger cosmos, where water is abundant? What does it say about even humble asteroids and meteorites that have landed on Earth carrying hydrocarbons and amino acids? Despite Venus's potential as a cradle for life, the planet has largely been ignored, perhaps in part due to the logistical challenges of getting there, or maybe because other destinations in the solar system have seemed more appealing. Here's looking at you, Mars and Europa. For those other potential alien world candidates, NASA is planning a flagship mission to study the moons of Jupiter. Scientists believe one of the planet's largest and best-known moons, Europa, heated by tidal stresses and gravitational interactions with other moons, harbors a salty, possible habitable ocean beneath its icy crust. Other frozen moons in the outer solar system, possible water worlds, are also candidates for study. As for our planetary neighbor, in 1962, NASA's Mariner 2 became the first spacecraft to fly by Venus. The Soviet Union responded in kind by launching its Venera spacecraft to the planet. Venera 7 became the first spacecraft to survive a soft landing on Venus, but it melted within seconds. Venera 9 took the first image of the Venusian surface. In 1989, NASA's Magellan spacecraft launched, eventually producing the first global map of Venus. Now, only one spacecraft, the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency's Akatsuki orbiter, is monitoring Venus. Mars, by comparison, has 8 active missions. Mars has long been considered the best candidate in the solar system beyond Earth to have hosted microbial life in the distant past, or even in the present, as suggested by background levels of methane. NASA, the European Space Agency, China, India, Russia, and United Arab Emirates are all pursuing exploration of the red planet in one form or another. A NASA rover is currently on its way to Mars to look for signs of life, but the robot is designed to find long-dead microbes preserved in the rusty soil for billions of years. This exciting recent phosphine discovery presents the tantalizing possibility that life might be on Venus right now. NASA is currently in the process of reviewing 2 potential Discovery Program missions to Venus. One mission, Venus Emissivity, Radio Science, INSAR, Topography and Spectrography, or VERITAS, is designed to map the planet's surface in order to unearth its many geological secrets. The other mission, Da Vinci, plans to study Venus's atmosphere by plunging a probe down to the planet's rocky surface. On the way down, it'll collect samples of trace gases and snap pictures of both the volatile atmosphere and the rocky surface below. Meanwhile, Greaves' team is awaiting additional telescope time to look for signs of other gases associated with biological activity and to determine the temperature of the clouds where the phosphine is present to gain additional insights. Ultimately, future visits by spacecraft will likely be needed to fully resolve the question. Seeger said herself that there can always be something they overlooked, and ultimately the only thing that will answer this question for us, is there life, is there not life, is actually going to Venus and making more detailed measurements for signs of life and maybe life itself. Life may well be exceedingly hard to achieve, found only on a one-off world like Earth and nowhere else. Or it might be exceedingly easy, requiring nothing more than chemistry, energy, and time to emerge. Or maybe it falls somewhere in between. Today, the betting feels a little more like it tips to the easy side. This may not mean there's life on another world, but it's the closest we've ever come to confirmation. Our solar system is more dynamic than we ever believed, and there's no reason the same could not be true of the cosmos as a whole. Do you believe in life beyond Earth? Tell us in the comments down below so we can talk about it some more. If you want to learn more about the final frontier that beckons from just beyond the horizon, you should check out our other video on New Forbidden Zone class of black hole discovered, where we cover the latest details of the incredible discovery, the excitement behind it, and most importantly, what this means for you and me. Keep watching. Thank you for watching. This is Trending's Finest. Always the trendiest, always the finest.